the action. Look forward to hearing you do this one.
Thank you so much. It should be exciting. You know, we've seen multiple teams iterate on these mid lane matchups, try to find counters. We've had Monkey King, Huskar, Necro. Back in the day, we had people trying Ursa versus Ember Spirit to try and outlane him. Is Tide that same realm of defeat him in lane and then in game?
Kind of. I feel like it has to be more than just about Ember, though. This is not to shut down Ember. This is the mentality that they want to have, the tempo that it can give you to have a big Tide Hunter from the mid lane. And like Kessa pointed out, that shard is going to be incredibly strong against not only the Ember, of course, but even Wind Ranger. It takes a little while for her to get rid of it. Can't rely on her Wind Run to just reposition as easily. So yeah, I can see the potential. I'm just, yeah, this is a crazy curveball, and I like that they're doing it in game one. Typically in a best of 3, you know, bring out the crazy stuff immediately, get that, give it a shot.
And it is a hero that kind of matches quite nicely into what Liquid we're looking at here. We know Largo through and through now, that kind of 17-minute Ags into 18-minute Roshor Tormentor at 20. You're playing this timing, really, aren't you? Looking at the, level 6s online. The Wind Ranger's ready with her items. Liquid are going to flick that switch around the 20-minute mark to go get objectives. Tide with a Ravage and some Aura items could definitely put a stop in that.
Yeah, he could. And he could become a very frustrating hero. He's going to go for the Vladimirs immediately. That's like the only thing that's obvious to us. He already has it in the quick buy even. This hero desperately requires a little bit of sustainability so he can stand there. Also makes the Anchor Smash just that much more reliable. But what he will bring outside of that, I'm so curious to see. Is it going to be some face boots Vlads with an DPS type addition? Or is he going to go for a pipe?
A blink?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we need that mobility? There's a lot of questions around it, for sure.
Already?
Or do we see the old Amar, Satanic Daedalus?
I mean, he is going up against Nisha as well in mid lane, who, has played against a lot of hard counters. Ember against Tide does not sound like the hardest matchup ever, considering Flame Guard cannot be broken by Tide. You can just pop that Flame Guard, and that will be free CSing time. You can see Tide already took a lot of damage from it.
And no way to break through it. This is all physical damage. And then in those side lanes, we see Satanic already giving the clicks to Ace, just trying to force him back, but some nice lane manipulation to drag the equilibrium a little closer to towers, going to give that Largo a much safer time farming, and just keeping our eyes on that mid lane. Yeah, no one getting chipped away at.
Yeah, he's already going for the... Oh, we have a pause. Actually, I could tell from my computer as well was also struggling. We have a...
Nietzsche's like, what's going on here? Why am I against the Tide Hunter in the middle lane?
Yeah, a bunch of players and even the Observer here getting kicked out. We'll head back in. Sometimes servers do this. They just boot you out for no reason. But luckily, players on both sides actually remained as well. We didn't have a situation where everyone disappeared.
2v2, 9 class says.
Yeah,
I wonder who was left in there.
I saw Ember. They definitely kept their mid laner on the side of Nisha.
That's the important one. I mean, he's been popping off, right? Getting up the leaderboard of the ranks, getting himself nice and warmed up. Has looked very hot this tournament so far. And putting him on a hero like Ember Spirit, one of these spirit heroes that just creates natural tempo, gives you a direction in team fights, in the game in general, allows you to get on top of people. Nisha can definitely dictate the game. I'm
going to be honest, I think Ember is pretty busted right now. He is just insane on mid lane. I think I would rate him just generically as the strongest mid laner of the patch. Overall, this tournament so far, he's been played 10 games, 70% win rate, looking good, but overall just, the recent 2 months or whatever in pubs, Ember has been the hero. He just plays at a tempo that no other mid-hero can keep. It's like Caudle can kind of do it, but he has a massive fall-off point later on, whereas Ember feels like he always just gets stronger and stronger.
Yeah, maybe not like first-pick material, because you do have to ban out a couple of these lane matchups, right? The Huskar in particular, you do need to kind of spend a ban on that. But when especially in this game, 18th pick, right? That very specific spot where we see these Embers, these pucks get picked up when you see the team against you don't really have that much guaranteed consistent lockdown. Ember has quite a free game to enter fights.
Yeah, what was it, like 2 years ago or something? We had constant just first pick Embers, and I kept saying, like, this is so shameless. Everyone just picking a hero that can get hard countered by so many different heroes and picking it first. I'm happy we don't have a meta of first pick Embers, because I think every single player who tried to do that has played against enough Huskar picks and Viper picks now that they don't want to do it anymore.
They've had enough of it. And it's not just that. It's like, oh, there's a Huskar and a Lion and a Shadow Shaman or something, right? With all the hexes and disabled. This time around, he's going to be looking at maybe a silence or a stun from the Earth Spirit, a grip from Fog, but outside of that, everything is quite telegraphed for Nisha to see coming.
So as we have a pause here, actually, I think one of the cool things in PVISION's draft is that they have 4 heroes that can reposition their opponents. They have Murta with a dead shot, they have Lasso from the Batrider, they have the kick from Earth Spirit, and they have the Sleepwalk over on Bane.
Yeah.
So they can actually really pull people out of position. And that bottom lane, they have to be very cautious because Sleepwalk into a dead shot is actually very dangerous. Can get you.
Then super important that Ace and Boxy have held the lane so far up, close to their own tier 1, so they don't get pushed up the tower.
Yeah.
Don't get dragged any deeper. Good start for Satanic though, 9-2 with Largo there at 4-0. And double ranged against this Largo is always going to be a little rough to start, but he's the kind of guy who just goes back to jungle, farms those 2 camps on the right-hand side, and gets his Aghanims that way.
This mid matchup is already looking rough, by the way. Like salving up now on no one, not going for a bottle, and the lifesteal is far away. If you skip bottle and you go straight Vladimir's, it's 900 gold before you get the Morbid Mask, and these Flame Guards will keep ticking you down. I'm a bit concerned for no one here. This last pick might just struggle a bit.
And Boxy, getting the clicks from Satanic, gonna get finished off here, even through the Fairy Fire, as the Muerta will pick up the first blood. Ace will trade out onto Ducalis, but now he's gonna get forced out of lane. 7-1 charges, a Ring of Regen there, so he should be able to stick around at least and not have to go back to Fountain or anything like that.
Satanic trying to deny him walking back to the lane as well for just a little bit, making sure he can't find any easy time to CS, even with the Bane dead. And finally up top lane, we haven't really spoken too much, but this Wind Ranger plus Jakiro lane is very oppressive, and Earth Spirit, not a very strong laning support. Great at roaming, can do a lot with joining towards mid lane, but this top lane should be easy for Liquid.
Oh, a nice roll there in onto Tofu. Get some harassment damage going when that Lotus Pool spawns up. And of course, once the game develops and the lanes start to break down, we're expecting this Earth Spirit to roam around and back and cut waves, farm jungle, get all of his efficient farming without just heading straight into double-ranged heroes.
Yeah.
No one. Getting the high five from Nisha. Still low on HP, 400 health, getting burnt by that level 2 Flame Guard. And incessantly.
The thing is, you don't want to buy more salves and more tangles. The more you consume here, the more you delay your Vladimir's getting that lifesteal. So it's an uncomfortable spot. For CS is looking decent, 14-3, but against the 16-8 on Ember, who you picked into, it's definitely not what you would expect coming out from the lane.
And you can even see the intention from Nisha buying this Blood Grenade early on. He knows that there is this possibility to put no one within kill threshold and just get a solo kill, even before level 6.
Down bottom, an attempt.
And for the dead shot, there's the play you mentioned. Does push him onto tower, but fortunately for Ace, it was aggroed on a creep. ParaVision don't have quite enough to kill him off, but once again, they've put him in this situation where now he's got to make a decision of go hit creeps and die, or run back to his tower and gather up some more regeneration items.
Yeah, it's just constantly bringing his HP low. He does have Tranquils at least, so he should be fine over time.
9 class, trying to help recover this mid lane. Nisha just going to turn and burn. Realizing he's not under too much threat, will gather his Water Rune as well.
Yeah, he's going to be completely fine. This is what 9 class kind of has to look to do, though. He can't really produce too much together with the Batrider up top. Wind Ranger is a very hard hero for Batrider to go on as well. So he's like, can I produce anything mid? Can I find kills? But unfortunately, that lane is not that easy either. Maybe a gate move is the play. Try and look for the Murta.
So expectation-wise, we were expecting Ty to do better in this lane, right? And
I mean,
we were unsure.
Listen, 6 years since last time I saw no one, you know, I'm not even sure I saw it. Nobody plays mid-tide against Ember, and Ember is played all the time. I was not convinced when I saw it. It can work out. Once he gets Vladimir's, it will be nice, but CS-wise and laning mechanics-wise, I think Nisha is really sharp. He's like the player on mid lane to make all those little plays. I don't know if we really saw it much on the observing, but he was baiting the anchor smash, standing and just micro baiting it and walking out of the AoE to get himself stick charges and not get hit. Like he was doing a lot of little fine details to get an edge on this lane.
Well done by Nisha then. Top of the last hit so far. We're eyeing up a move bottom with Tofu wrapping around alongside Boxy, but it seems like ParaVision have a full read of what's going on with that Radiant Observer Ward off to the far right-hand side.
They have the pull. They have a small pull, so they're going to be fine on ParaVision. They can just pull into the ghosts here and not walk into a dangerous area.
Liquid are like, where's the vision? They must see us somehow, but that's way further east over there. They've spotted Tofu.
That's a great ward by Ducalis. Nobody expects you to put an observer that far to the right on the gate this early. So you see the sentry, they tried to deward, but he took the time to walk all the way over and put it there. Sometimes those few extra seconds of walking time is really worth it to prevent getting dewarded.
Tofu realizing he's wasted a little bit of time over there, is trying to come to mid to defend against the 9-class rotation, but again, he's under this Radiant Vision. The ParaVision know exactly what's going on as they zip down to bottle an Arcane Rune and grab a kill on the Bane. Boxy helps set that up, and Liquid guard both of the active rune spots.
That's nice. You have Ember on your team, you know your strengths, play towards getting runes for him. Arcane is a fantastic first rune to find.
Still waiting for that Vlant on the Tide.
Quite likely they're going to group towards top and start playing on the Wisdom as well. Oh, the stun reaches. Batrider gets clipped.
Still going to just Firefly off, drag the wave with him. That's going to be the ammo of the Bat right now, is back farming, trying to cut the wave as much as possible. No one's going to walk into Nisha and Tofu as we approach the Wisdom Shrine timing. Nisha makes sure there will be no contesting here by the Tidehunter. Who is still holding a point for Ravage if he needs to. Might see him TP top, because Liquid are amassing their forces there.
I think he might try and join there, but it's still pretty hard against Ember plus the 2 supports. I'm not sure they have it in them to fight this.
Oh, it's really hard. A roll in from 9-class, blocked by Boxy, so Wisdom Shrine for Tofu. Now 9-class in the middle of 3 heroes. Sacrifices himself and another kick up to that high ground, but there is a path through the trees this time for the Jakiro to run.
So 9-class rolling in there wasn't that he was confused. He just went because he thought he could kick out the opponent and take the Wisdom, but there was a nice body block preventing that play.
And 3 of them as well. Now Ace being shoved out of his lane by these 2 ranged heroes. Going to put the Froggies down to slow the advance, but a good dead shot from Satanic will drag him back in towards them. It takes a while to bring this tanky frog down.
And a dive up top at the
just
same
enough
time.
damage while Triple S. Big dive under his tier 1. Mickey, Tofu and Boxy stuck around to go for this back kill, and nothing 9-class could really do apart from drag the wave to delay the push on the tower.
And hopefully he will be fine getting away, but there is power shot on Mickey, as we've seen before on his, even with the tangled facet, he likes having this.
Shackle overlapping a bit with their Hex there. Boxy quite low health, looking to continue this, but a 9-class haste is going to get him the distance.
Get him to safety, even salving up and chasing after Boxy. He knows he's low HP. Might find him here.
Oh, he's going for this. Hey, Boxy. How you doing? Just kicked out of the game. Boxy, well, thankfully, did get the bounty rune before dying.
Very nice play by 9-class, though, recognizing he could go back for more, using that haste to maximum. That's what they need. They need to find some kills. ParaVision have had a harder time setting up stuff. They are creating some stacks at least and preparing. Obviously, they have Batrider and Tidehunter, so they rely on those jungle stacks quite heavily.
Tidehunter even cutting waves now, so it seems like ParaVision just trying to get the farm they can without encountering Liquid heroes too much.
Got a very nice neutral item too. Chipped Vest on the Tidehunter is going to be fantastic against the Wind Ranger. And got mana regen on it as well, so that's going to help amp his farm rate a little bit.
Yeah, so good for farming. And right now, no one is right under the nose of Boxy, who's trying to stack up those ancient camps. Tanky Tide, 1,500 health, 5 stick charges, Ravage ready.
He is deep though.
He is very deep behind enemy lines, and with Mickey arriving, all the control from Boxy and Tofu lining up onto this no one, but
Look at
he's still holding Ravage with 10 stick charges, and Mickey has actually dropped to half health. This is dangerous with Ducalis coming in, but that stun from Boxy makes sure there's no Ravage turnaround, and then Ducalis is the cherry on top.
Ducalis a little bit late to help him out there, couldn't really get there in time and ends up just being a bonus feed. Very good for Liquid, get the punish on and not allow Tide to accelerate his farm by doing this creep wave cutting. He has the highest CS in the game, but net worth, he is going to struggle because, I mean, Tide is very predictable. That's the downside. Ember can be
anywhere.
Where
he is.
Yeah, you know he's crazy. He can dive anyone. He can kill anything. Tidehunter, if you see Tidehunter, he's going to be in that general area for quite a while. So that gives them time to bring a bunch of people and just take him down.
That's some big stacks over on the parry side. In the medium camp anyway. That's already been cleared on that side. And a sentry ward there as well from the Dire.
That's a pretty quiet game for the carries in this game, as both of them are getting very nice farm, been involved in some kills each and haven't died on either side. We'll see if the Wind Ranger or Murta are going to be the successors in the hard carry department.
I mean, do you think Liquid have enough damage once we get into that mid game, dealing with this Tide kind of tanky Batrider build, and Muerta can get into that ghost form.
I think they do. They have a lot of damage innately, and if they get like a Shivas on the Ember at some point, I could see this team doing a lot of damage with Macropyre, Finger of Death. The supports are adding a lot.
That's true.
And
I guess up by the Largo as well.
Yeah, that's always going to be the big question for me. Like, does Largo hit that pre-20-minute timing that he kind of needs to be useful?
Liquid a little unfortunate, just a few seconds slow to contest the camp that no one was farming. They'll realize there's nothing left to be gained here, so zip away on that Remnant. But now they know where no one is. He is in that triangle, probably going to play up to top, and that's what the drawing on the map is from Liquid.
Yeah, we saw how much resources it takes to kill Tidehunter though, so if he's farming in this area, you're going to need to bring 4 heroes and then focus him. It's not going to happen. He's not a kill, so just go and play somewhere else. Right now, both teams are playing a lot for stacking up their own jungle efficiency. Boxy is stacking up his own. And same time, of course, the Batrider and so on, stacking on the other side.
Everybody, like, just looking at the map, Lion, Jakiro, Bat, everyone's stacking camps.
Efficiency, it's the name of the game.
It's one of the longest, like, unbroken laning stages I think I've seen in a while, where we've just got Tide sitting mid, Ember's playing through mid, you know, a few little moves here and there, but ParaVision really are forcing this extended laning stage, which is allowing their Bat and Muerta to get quite nicely farmed.
You know, a big part why the laning stage is so extended is because both safe lanes were very strong. And when the off laners are struggling and can't really put pressure on the safe lane, then that will result in the tier 1 safe lane standing and not breaking. That's usually the first tower you crack. In this game, we haven't really seen any effort towards that. In fact, Radiant's tier 1 tower on the safe lane is pristine. It has been
untouched?
Yeah, it's literally graded.
PSA 10?
Yeah, PSA 10 on this. Some damage on some of the other towers, but yeah, look, not a single creep has ever gone to smash on that.
So what we're really looking at here is quite a slow passage of play until minute 17, Largo Ags, that Tormentor play. Maybe we have some moves towards the Wisdom Shrines at 14, but it's like big items that both teams really want to get.
Yeah, I think everybody's looking towards their items that they want, right?
Gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, Largo is happy with this because Ace, he wants to farm. At the same time, no one on mid-tide. We see his intentions now. He's queued up the Aghanim Scepter. Makes, you know, no real surprise there. It's not a crazy power play or investment. This is literally just a good fighting item that also farms. Very similar to a lot of other Aghanim Scepters.
I kind of like the fact that in recent times we've had all these Aghanim Scepters replace Radiance builds. Radiance got a little bit tired and boring now. Everyone's buying the Ags.
Honestly, Radiance is just a really shit item right now, I think. I think it can work on some heroes, but ever since they made it not have a miss chance, I generally despise the item. Because you just ignore the Radiance carrier, kill everyone else, don't have any miss chance from focusing everybody else, and then you deal with the Radiance carrier after. And a lot of the Radiance carriers are heroes that are hard to kill. It's like Abaddon, Omni Knight, you know, these type of heroes.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
And that Supernova, yeah. All sorts of stuff you can do with it. It looks like no one's also going to add that Soul Ring into his item build too. So the Vlad's Phase, Soul Ring, Ags. You do need that extra pop of mana. You know, you're not going to have the Arcane Boots or any additional mana regen. Being able to spam that Ags to push out waves.
Yeah.
But it's always funny when you see no levels in Gush and then Ags queued up, you know. But it's gonna coincide.
Yeah, eventually he's going to have it, so it's going to be fine. But yeah, he definitely needs more mana sustain. And when you have this free lifesteal all the time, might as well have a Soul Ring. It's the most mana efficient item when it comes to, you know, spamming it non-stop off cooldown. It's just about having the HP to do that. That's not a problem for him.
And then no one gets to just sit on this tower now. Very little Liquid can do to rebuff his efforts, taking the objective. He's pinging it, saying, hey, a little bit of help here. We can just kill this tower. Liquid can poke at me as they want. You can see that with a high five. Come on.
4 points in Kraken Shell, minus 75 damage on anyone who tries to hit him. It's going to be hard. And then, of course, Chip Vest. So you're going to do more damage to yourself. You're going to have to burst him with magic damage alone. 1800 HP is pretty hard to go through, though.
Now, Mr. Blobby just going to stand there. Minute 12. Invis Runa spawn top, which has already been pre-remnanted by the Ember Spirit to go and grab. Zanisha, of course, as expected, full access to all of the active runes.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Nisha explode towards the side lanes, though. It's been pretty farmy from him as well. He's joined here and there, made play for the Wisdom Rune, of course, which we will have another one in 2 minutes. I think that's when action might start increasing. But you're right, this has been a very extended laning stage from both teams.
I feel like that's quite often a good sign, right? Usually indicates a very similar level of play between the teams, similar level of idea in terms of confidence with their drafts. Both of these sides Not sure what the tip there is for, but both these sides are happy, content with going into this mid-game.
I think
Everyone having items.
I think generically as well, I count it as a bit of a win in Team Liquid's eyes that you're not losing early on, because in general, I think Radiant always has a bit of an advantage in laning stage and tends to crack down earlier. Oh, as we have a big dive up top, 9 class.
Looking at Mickey.
He still has roll, he can get to safety. Big dive, I say, biggest action we've seen in a while. He rolled in, looked at them, and then he's like, yeah, okay, no. He blocks the Ancient. That's action right there, Gareth.
Yeah, stop them farming. That's what they're doing. Stop them from doing it.
It's pretty late to block that at 13 minutes. I feel like it's more likely Radiant are gonna, you know, open the tier 1 tower, but maybe this is a message. He's like, you know what, you can keep this area. I'll block your Ancients. Keep it.
And no one going to be thanking Boxy for making some stacks for him over in the Ancients there on the other side.
This is aggressive. Going in and stealing opponents' Ancients is always gonna rub them the wrong way. Boxy does not like what he sees.
Now, this was where he died previously as well. Ace is going to wander over with Boxy, Nisha here to start with a stun. He does have a smoke coming in from behind, and a 3-man Ravage from no one sets up on Nisha, gripping the Ember Spirit. Deadshot and damage not good enough, so they turn on Boxy to finish him off.
Ooh, bit of a misplay by Satanic there. Deadshot did not push the Lion, so Lion was able to stop the Bane's Fiend grip. Otherwise, could have killed the Ember as well. But he shot up instead of down with a Deadshot.
Oh, they protect the Tide, they spend the Ravage and pierce the Veil. They get a bit of action going over in the enemy Ancients. So taking a piece of the pie away from Liquid while applying that little bit of pressure. But it doesn't seem like it was majorly drastic. Nisha still gets the DD rune. The Ember, of course, survives it all. And then top lane, Mickey has continued free farming.
Yeah, and 1-for-1 on the Wisdoms as well. That happened just recently. As we see 3 bounty runes being picked up. Nobody has really inhabited the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, the bottom jungle's been empty. Uninhabitable area.
Okay, Mickey looking to get involved with his 2 supports.
A short smoke.
Yeah, Batrider is the target. Can they get him though?
Triple S wisely drags the lane under tower.
It's a bit far to reach him. He has Bongo Boots as well, mind you, so he's pretty fast. And of course, Earth Spirit not too far away. Could save him as well.
It's difficult to access this area now, and Tofu's smoke breaking makes it even more challenging to approach.
And that's time invested. May not seem like much, but when you spend like 40 seconds kind of staring at nothing and doing nothing with 3 heroes, that's a lot of time that you could have been stacking or farming with Wind Ranger. So Failed Smoke still hurts you quite a bit.
Everyone's ramping. Everyone's got a bit of ramp. How's Largo doing? What's the Largo check?
Largo for now, he's getting closer. 1,200 gold away for that Aghanim Scepter. And of course he has the Soul Ring, has Power Treads as well. We don't always see the Power Treads build. A lot of times, you know, going for the Tranquils. I think he had Tranquils earlier, disassembled them, because we still see the locked Ring of Regen as well.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully no shenanigans this time. No dropping Ags to pop your Soul Ring. Or at least do it in a safer position.
Not on the lane, maybe. Get Fiend Script, Nightmared immediately.
Still looking at this top lane, this time though with Nisha. Still can't get on top of Triple S. Pops the little Bongo Boots. Gets back to his tower.
It's a very cautious game coming out from both. No team wants to really commit to a big dive or anything, and that's largely due to stuff like Tidehunter could TP in. You're a bit worried. Of course, Ravage was coming off cooldown. Maybe don't want to overcommit to a fight under tower. But this is, you know, Satanic feeling really happy about himself. If you have this slow of a game when you're playing Murta, that's just a dream. This carry is really weak early on. Like, yeah, laning stage is good, but she is very susceptible to getting ganked early. And he gets to farm all the Mjolnir and now activates throughout the jungle. It is fantastic for him.
And really, the epitome of like a fragile glass cannon carry, right? Definitely can get rolled on, but given a lot of freedom here. And how do we envision Satanic's game going later, like matchup-wise into Wind Ranger?
I think overall the matchup isn't that bad. He has Mjolnir for some pseudo True Strike already, and it can be annoying that Wind Ranger is super high mobility and Murta doesn't have any mobility at all.
Misses turret.
But keep in mind, her entire team is good at catching people. You have Fiend Script, Lasso, Ravage,
the displacement tools.
Yeah, I think she will be okay in that regard. I think the important thing for him is going to be bursting the Ember or Largo. Those cores have to die, and Murta's damage output is faster than Wind Rangers.
And as we expected, 17 minutes in, first objective, Roshan on the menu.
And they got no clue. At least they're not showing any interest in contesting this.
They scan it and they know, so they've got the information. Yeah. You're right, it looks
Too
like
late.
they're just giving up on this completely. So it means Aegis for Satanic, still easy access for ParaVision to get to the Tormentor area. And Liquid somewhat on the back foot now as 9 Class rolls in onto the Jakiro. Quickly dispatch with Tofu as Mickey goes for the D-Ward. Quite a risky play there, it felt like, but not quite enough reach. Boxy, though, is going to come in with a nice double zap. Finger of death into the power shot.
Good coordination.
9 Class wasn't happy with that.
Yeah, nice comms on Liquid there, seeing that they have a chance to get 1 kill at least. So not too favorable for ParaVision, but they still, of course, have that Aegis, and that will mean that they have an easier time taking the Tormentor. It's going to be very hard for Liquid to make an aggressive move as well, so bottom tower is unlikely to be contested.
3k lead built up now.
Yeah, they're farming really fast. While Tidehunter didn't farm that well in the lane against the Ember, ever since he got the Vladimirs, he has been very, very happy with himself, just running around and clearing Ancients, shoving creep waves.
It's like that golden rule of Dota as a core, right? Don't die. As long as you don't die, you keep your gold, you don't waste any money, you just keep accumulating wealth over time.
Yeah, it's also playing towards your strengths, because at the same time, Ember hasn't died, but Ember relies on Chaos. He's the type of hero who wants to do stuff. He's a do-stuff hero, term that we used to have a lot, but there hasn't been that much stuff to do.
Oh, an attempt on Mickey there. Start with Enfeeble, but doesn't go for the grip. 9 Class still looking for an angle if anyone from Liquid shows. I think no one was also coming in from behind.
I think Ducali's misclicked. He hopped forward and used Enfeeble instead of Nightmare. I think he wanted to Nightmare him and push him back. The Enfeeble doesn't really do that much to initiate.
Just wanted to really scare Mickey.
Just a prank.
Just a prank, bro.
He is going for Ether Lens on the Bane, so that's going to help him get those catches as well on people. Of course, Bane, one of the heroes who benefits most from Ether Lens in the entire game. 4 different targeted abilities that benefit from it.
This is when no one starts to feel really powerful. Just a couple of spells to shove the wave. Soul Ring Vlad's giving him infinite staying power on the map. He's basically a walking fountain for himself with that mana draft as well.
Yeah. He has the Aghanim Scepter, of course, so he's really strong now. But Largo also finished his Aghanim Scepter and 1,000 gold to boot. Ducal is walking in. Might get gone on by Mickey and Ace here.
Yeah, thought about the Nightmare, but then Mickey, you're right, is alongside this Largo. Satanic's come in to try and make a meal of this one. Boxy gonna turn with a stun, power shot in. Liquid realizing that they don't have enough firepower to kill Satanic twice, so we'll give up on it for now.
Yeah, could definitely bring him down once, perhaps, if they stuck around, but I don't think you want to take that risk next to the tower. Already bursted a bit as well, with the focus fire being expended.
And then through the Twin Gate. Just the Bat and Earth Spirit, though. No, Satanic.
I got Murta as well. I like that they're not overcommitting their moves. They're letting no one thrive, you know, in his element, happy, thriving, just here on the mid lane, being this sort of blockade for the moves of Liquid. If you want to access through mid, you have to go through him.
Oh, attempt from Satanic there, expecting Nisha just to stick around a moment longer.
No one is about to have that shard as well. Once he's got that, it will get dangerous for the Ember, who is not going for a BKB or anything like that, of course. He's got Aghanim Scepter complete, coming out on Courier.
Systematic destruction of the towers, though. ParaVision went from tier 1 to tier 1, now on to tier 2s. Liquid gonna smoke up from the mid lane. Lion, Ember, very good heroes at getting into the back lines and wrapping around to find targets. But 9 Class, their first point of contact, not a core, a support kill, still a kill. And it's going to at least stem the flow of bleeding and stop that continual push up top, although the tower did already die.
I mean, you get a kill, but tier 2 is a big objective to have removed already. ParaVision, they're going through the checklist, getting the Torm, getting the Aegis, getting tier 2s. They're doing a lot of damage here structurally to Liquid. Liquid need to throw the balance of this game somehow, because I don't even necessarily favor them in late game here. I think Murta is a monster in late game.
And Boxy's going to get caught in that top jungle now as well. Went out on a migration mission, gets found. And honestly, yeah, we were looking at this Tide and the question marks around him. Lane against Ember, is it a counter there? What's it going to do? So far, it feels like the counter has been strategic, stopping Liquid, whose draft seemed like it was going to be very strong in that 17 to 21 minute period. And you've said it, they just could not get through the no one Tide. And they have seen Tofu, but he's popped into Invis and waddled away.
And they're going to find the Observer Ward eventually as well, they see it now. As they drop the sentry. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The Tide has functioned fully as a blockade of the mid lane instead of just, you know, doing some crazy early move or having a specific lane counter. He didn't do that well to shut down the Ember, but it's more Ember hasn't been able to find any rotations.
It's like some kind of siege machinery.
Yeah. Also, Ember's damage is very bad against the Tides. Like at this stage of the game, you can't burst is the problem. And Tide just kind of he sustains through it all with his 2.8k HP and Vladimir's.
A scan there from ParaVision gives the info that there's a couple of heroes lurking on that right-hand side. Satanic does have a couple of heroes behind him though, so seems pretty happy still to push into that tier 2.
I mean, he's got the BKB now. We haven't had a single team fight, and this Murta is already starting to look like she's prepared for a massive one.
And a smoke from ParaVision with a Bat Rider who I forgot for a moment was in this game. Triple S is like, yeah, I'm here. I've got the bongo boots, a Lotus Orb, let's go play. Ducalis is going to lead out with a Tumbler's Toy and Grip. He's very good at starting out, especially on a core, but currently the only one showing is Tofu. Tumbles, glimmers, but they're going to use the Grip on him to kill off the Jakiro.
Okay, yeah, he's definitely going to fall. They will take the mid tower as well, and Liquid, they realize they don't have the team fights right now to deal with this as well. Just dodging, finishing up BKBs. But problem is, even if you get BKB, there's still Fiend Script, still Lasso, they have tools against you. So sure, Largo and Wind Ranger are working on theirs. Wind just about to get hers in 100 gold. But there has to be something more. You have to find a good smoke move, something.
Oh, 6 years in the making. Tidehunter mid. The chuckles and giggles from no one in that draft as well just before they picked it, showing off exactly why.
Yeah, they probably asked him, like, have you played Tide recently? He's like, nah, dude. He's bronze tier on Tide, you know. I'm pretty sure that he does have Dota Plus as well. He just doesn't play Tidehunter, but he's like, sure, how hard can it be?
Just pick it anyway.
It's Tide, you know, but he looks comfortable as ever. He's waddling around and farming. I think it was a very successful strategy from them.
Boxy out on the map, trying to find a place to live, but getting caught here by 9 Class and Satanic. Walk under a Radiant Observer Ward anyway to die as mid lane. Mickey, Tofu, getting tagged up by the anchor.
I mean, they're pinned in the base by one Tidehunter. Sure, Bane was behind him, but he doesn't need to do anything. Tide shows and 4 heroes are running the other direction. This is very oppressive stuff coming out from no one. Keep in mind, he's got the Oarfish Eater, you know, the Krill Eater. He's growing.
Oh, just solo killing Tofu. A lick back will get him to safety. 9 Class in. Shackle Shot doesn't lash to a tree. Gets the Magnetize out, but dies to Mickey. No one's taking a fair amount of damage now, and it's the Ravage up, and the BKB's up from Mickey, and they chase down the Tide. Liquid, they're able to strike back, defend their Ancients as they continue on to Ducalis. Signs of life at last from Liquid.
There we go. The BKB plus the Mjolnir auto attack damage coming in with the Focus Fire. They have continuous damage with the Wind Ranger.
And now with 3 dead, they saw Satanic up north momentarily. They tried to scan, and Boxy's still hunting.
If they can follow up with a Shackle after a first jump, I think they're going to see Boxy.
Floating down river, makes the jump in. Hex and Finger can follow with a stun. Mickey's coming with a Shackle Shot to line it up on the tree, and they should have plenty here to finish off Satanic. Although the Flame Break pushes them back, Triple S can't offer enough to save his buddy.
What a nice catch right there. And the Observer barely didn't see the Lion in time. The Radiant Observer, the vision just cuts barely where the Boxy blink came from, unfortunately.
And Ducalis being burnt down by a double damage Nisha.
They're toppling over.
It felt inevitable, this steamroller of movement from ParaVision, getting towards this Liquid base, taking out all the tier 2s, and with a flick of the switch, Liquid say, no, actually, we've broken the siege, we've broken free, got through the gates and destroyed all these trebuchets.
Yeah, they managed to group up a lot, right? ParaVision were playing split on the map. They had Murta farming up top. I think they saw that she was farming top as well before that fight happened down bottom, and they just commit everything to killing Tidehunter, and it worked out great for them. So now, maybe we will see ParaVision play a little bit closer, trying to utilize those ultis together.
Ace there, stepping away from the creep wave vision to drop his items before picking them very quickly back up again.
It's a learned behavior right there.
For sure.
Pain is the best teacher sometimes, Gareth, and I think he had enough pain losing that Axe earlier.
I think that's still one of the most resilient performances I've ever seen. You know, having that happen to him and then coming back in that series, very level-headed. Especially playing Largo again several times after.
Ravage still on cooldown for 25. We're trying to wait it a bit on PVISION, as all of them are hanging around on top.
Dead even in terms of net worth.
Yeah.
Liquid ahead in kills.
Nisha is respecting that there's a lot of nasty single target abilities, by the way. I said he might go Shivas in this game. He opted go for the Aghanims first, of course, but then back for a Linken's against the Bane, against the Batrider, and also the Shard on Tide. It's pretty fantastic because the Aghanims on Tide makes it so he can't break Linken's.
True.
It's a little bit awkward for him.
With Roshan respawning, both teams going to be eyeing up that top pit. A couple of minutes until he migrates to his next home, but Liquid standing atop that regen rune, not just allowing no one to go and grab it. You don't want to get bogged down in the water with this no-one Tide.
Yeah, Tide can lead the way a lot, but he's still a little bit cautious about what happened last time. The smoke behind him. They're trying to bait it almost. A jump onto no one.
Liquid are having none of this.
Nope.
Nisha has gone all the way bottom to clear out the wave. They've separated him from the rest of the pack. The other four, though, very tight, holding hands together.
It's a good read that that was a bait, but will they be in time to contest the Roche? Roar is going to tell them that it's happening. But this is Murta hitting Roche. She kills it super fast. If she pops ulti, there she goes.
There's a resmoke from Liquid.
I think they're too late.
Coming across for this, but you're right, Roshan's dying so incredibly quickly.
It's going to be the Nightfall coming soon.
Power shot. Oh, it flies in, snatches the Aegis. The Dire killed it. Mickey actually sniped it. Now they're onto no one. Tidehunter loses a quarter of his health immediately while the backlines, Lion and Ember Spirit finish off the Bane. Triple S will lasso the line now, but Nisha and Mickey free reign to deal with no one. Forcing him around, he gets kicked to low ground, but can't get the Ravage off while Satanic, he's dying. First life gone, Liquid still 5 alive with a buyback of the Lion. On to 9 class they go. The Magnetize not enough to take them down, and now they've got stuns and control to deal with Satanic. Shackle shot on Ice Path to keep him at bay. Chains to hold her in place. Murta can't move or stick on a target, and PVISION just get kited and outplayed.
Tofu still dusted, can't hide. Is
No
he gonna be
stuns?
fine? Too long cooldowns. I was really surprised that PVISION decided to take that fight since they used the Murta ulti to take down Roche. That meant she didn't have the DPS to go into that fight. Of course, as she respawned with the Aegis, came back, she did do a lot of damage over time there, but initially she just had to watch her team die because she was 50% HP and without ulti.
It's massive for Liquid. Getting the kill on Roche,
Yeah.
sniping the Aegis, making sure that Satanic doesn't have that second life for the ensuing push. And obviously the teamfight victory overall.
Yeah, this is very nice. Liquid now in a spot where they can bite back a bit, and the Aegis, of course, was taken down as well, so that bit of an advantage is gone. Got themselves quite a bit of gold as well. The Murta may be leading the way, but the Ember and Wind Ranger are both looking really farmed. I'm surprised by Nisha's level of gold, actually.
Well, it's been a farming game, hasn't it? Everyone getting their creeps.
I think it's what you said earlier. He hasn't died. 508. Sure, his CS is, you know, sitting at 317 as well, which isn't bad at all on Ember, but never dying, it's a good recipe. And same for Mickey. Hasn't died once, the two of them in this game.
And we saw the challenges for no one there, even though he is this big, blubbery, beefy guy with a big teamfight ulti. If the BKB's up for Liquid, he can't really just cast it on supports. He gets kind of drifted around by his own support Earth Spirit out of position. Kind of hard for him to stick on a target and do something. You know, his job has been push lanes, get big, apply pressure.
I think one thing that also strikes me as a little bit surprising is that they have no pipe on their team, right? They went for this Lotus Orb over on Batrider, which means they have no pipe against the Ember damage. And look at all the magic damage. Largo, Aghanims by itself can warrant having a pipe. So, yeah, the burst is very, very fast from Liquid.
Boxy, gonna go for another one here. A freebie on 9 class. Oh, he has the Revenant's Brooch too.
Two
Even
of them.
more damage.
That's a nice itemization against Tidehunter, realizing that, okay, want to have some magic damage to go through all that damage block. Actually, this Tormentor is a bit questionable with the 3 of them. Gonna wait for Largo. Ace coming in to heal. Meanwhile, we have PVISION smoking and moving across the field. They're hoping to find somebody going alone. As they see Tormentor dying, they know what's up.
They see Nisha, but this has to be executed perfectly. He's already slighted and remnanted through them.
Yeah, Ducalis got revealed the Sleight of Fist. You can reveal heroes in smoke with Sleight of Fist since it moves your hero forward, and that can always be tricky to smoke gank. Ember is a hard one to connect on, especially with the Lincoln Sphere.
Absolutely. You need the instant Lincoln's pop and then the stun to follow. It's very, very hard. They do have this observer ward here that Ducalis is playing under, but that's already been pinged out by Liquid. They know there's vision in the area, and I don't know if Parry can stick around and defend it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna creep up on it, and D-Ward leading with the Ember, following up behind him as well.
So what's the approach from ParaVision now? Because it feels like they've started dragging their feet. They're not quite sure how to approach this.
I think they need to enable Murta somehow, and I think the item in Quick Buy that she has, the Blink Dagger after Lincoln's, I think that Blink is insanely important so that they can actually burst Wind Ranger or key targets during the disables. Right now he struggles with the classic Murta problem, low mobility.
So it's hold tight, stay with the Muerta.
Yeah, you have to. Positional play here.
Liquid are very good at kiting around the outskirts of the fight though.
Yeah, they're wrapping around all the way as well. This is what we've seen from Liquid many times before as well. Always going for those long sweeping maneuvers.
Process of elimination. They're not here. They're not there. Up the staircase. Anyone here? Hello, Ducalis. Immediate BKB from Mickey. And the blow up on the Bane, but the lasso's in from Triple S, dragging Mickey in. No one's going to go with the Ravage now. Gets the stun down on the Wind Ranger as they try to pump damage into Mickey, and Triple S gets it done. TP out. It's bail time. Get the hell out of here. They got one kill, but they realize they've got nothing left in the tank now. Bane down and no one being chased. Ace and Nisha should have this one in the bag. We'll drag him back in with a lick and a kick and a finishing touch from Nisha, while Nightclass is going to roll up off the map and try and kick his way out of this one. But with Boxy and Tofu's control and damage, I should be able to click him down eventually. Another roll.
He's being sneaky, but not getting pushed far enough, trying to do the edge map replacement technique there, but not really working out for him. Good catch by the two supports. And yeah, ultimately we saw Murta bursts, Mickey very quickly there, but then she just had to tap out and say, I'm done, guys, I'm out. And they committed all their resources to killing the Wind Ranger.
Mickey just going, congrats, you got me, I guess. Yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah, ultimately they're going to be very happy with that fight as well. Liquid having multiple threats. I think that's the difference right now. Murta, yes, she's super strong, the strongest on the field, but there are 3 cores that all deal a ton of damage on the side of Liquid.
Boxy here to protect Ace. Nightmare transfer. Little frogs put on the floor. Ducalis might drag them into a bait here, but Nisha with another double damage rune makes short work of him.
Yeah, he's almost gotten a refresher on Nisha as well, so he already is jumping around so much. He's gonna get close to those 13 jumps or whatever we had yesterday. And they're gonna leave the tower for now, not overextending. Even though Bane is dead, this is valuable farming time still for them. I think Liquid have no concern at this stage of the game. I generally said that I think I would favor ParaVision in late game overall, but with the state of the game and how it's progressing, it looks really nice for Liquid to just drag it out even more.
Yeah, I mean, it generally feels like every hero on Liquid has a job role which they can accomplish in this game. Yep. Whereas, for example, Boxy obviously can jump in and Hex start a fight. The Jakiro's got tons of damage. I just don't feel that from the Earth Spirit and the Bane. They're getting grip cancelled out. This Earth Spirit's kind of rolling in and sacrificing and dying.
I think that's the difference between Tide and Ember, to be honest, because Ember's diving in and causing complete chaos on the backline, whereas we don't really see Tidehunter doing the same. Tidehunter is big and he's blocky, he's hard to focus, but they just left him for last.
Ignore him.
Yeah, kill him last. Yeah. As long as they don't focus him early, I think they're going to be completely fine. And the supports, like you mentioned, have a much easier time on side of Liquid to do what they want. Smoke up coming out.
Another move.
This is with the refresher.
Another rune for Nisha. I mean, again, it feels like he's had every single active rune this game. We can count multiple DDs, multiple arcanes.
Yeah.
Another invis rune for him now as they approach this middle tier 2.
Had to see the Tide, but that's not the hero they want. Looking for somebody else, especially when he's standing under tower. If he goes too far out, they might commit the Windrunner ulti on him, though. They're thinking about it.
Gushes and shows himself by blinking into the wave. The damage is so quick, no one just gets fingered down. And Nightclass has got to run. Stuck on the high ground, and Nisha's going to scout them out with a long remnant in, though. Sees the Earth Spirit on the high ground, and another kill for Liquid.
Fantastic execution there by them, and ParaVision didn't even have time to blink. There's nothing to react to that. This was supposed to be your tanky hero, the one that can't be killed. He died in, what, 4 seconds or something?
So quickly.
Also, they're going for 3 Lincoln Spheres on side of Liquid. It's going to be very, very hard for them to go through all this. Largo is about to complete his not long from now. Wind Ranger, I believe, has hers on the Courier coming out. And all these single target abilities, like Batrider, your job is going to be so difficult.
Triple S thinking about something. Pop the Firefly on the drums. Doesn't go blinking in.
Can just,
Okay, just going to come back and return fire on the tower.
can just sit behind the Wind Ranger, let her safely push this. And this time, they're going to be the ones in control of the Roche area. First 2 Roche went the way of PVISION. Actually, they got the last hit last time, I guess, with the power shot. So technically, it was Liquid Roche. But PVISION, they're basically stuck in their base right now, thinking how do they get out and make a progression move here.
It's very difficult to find, especially now we're seeing the Jakiro with like 12,000 net worth. And Tofu's going to have Aghanim Scepter delivered on Courier momentarily.
They're queuing up Refresher on Tide. I think that might be the solution. If you ever get a jump before BKB, double Ravage, kill people off quickly.
This could be spicy. Liquid in position. There's the jump from no one. Triple Ravage. They found Mickey, but he breaks free. BKB, and off he goes. Ace gonna sing his song and dance to try and keep them running while Nisha dives on Ducalis. Looking for the Bane in the back while Triple S is focused by Mickey. Batrider down, and Ducalis in trouble as well. No one with no Ravage has nothing left to give, so he's just gonna get followed through on by Nisha and the boys. I mean,
And Boxy, he got one more.
that's the best you can hope for. A blink, triple Ravage, given the vision and the position you're in, a smoke gank move, and then still you fall short.
It's pretty tough though. Triple Ravage, but what ability is supposed to follow up? Think about it.
Where's
3
Murta?
3 heroes are stacked on each other. They don't have any AoE stuns to finish and punish that, right? They don't have a Split Earth or something like that to continue. There's no Fissure. So even if he catches 3, that's why they need Refresher. He needs to do it again.
Just to allow Satanic to get there in time.
Yeah, this is looking really grim for PVISION. For a while, they were very dominant across the map, but I think Liquid, they weathered the storm, and now they have gone to the easy cruising part of the game.
Yeah, you're trying to drag waves with couriers now, you know. You are in a deep, deep ditch.
Level 25 on the Ember as well, so he will have those remnants restoring a lot faster. Close to level 25 on Largo and Wind Ranger as well, at least Largo.
Yeah, I think Liquid have shaken off all of the fears and worries about this Tidehunter last pick.
Yeah, best thing for them is they don't even need to crack high ground more than they did. They got some damage done, can back out, play on the Roche, and now with Ravage on cooldown as well, there's really no hope for PVISION to contest this, I think.
Do we have a rune check? Can we find out exactly how many runes he's had? See, it legit feels like he's had every active rune.
Yeah, it would be interesting stat to see.
But obviously no one doesn't have bottle. It's...
Yeah. For a long time, the Tide was controlling the mid section of the map, though. So I think during that time, he got a few of the runes at least. But yeah, they're hopping into Roche. This is going to be the Refresher Shard Roche. And as they sniped the last hit with Power Shot last time, it is going to roar, letting PVISION know that, okay,
They can't get there.
they're starting it now. No, but that's just time that they can get out and maybe finish up the Refresher, right? He needs gold. He needs money. Still pretty far away, though. 4.1k gold. He just needs like 1,000 gold more.
Just 1,000 gold.
Just 1,000 gold. He's 700 gold away.
Muerta with a Daedalus now does offer a tremendous amount of damage if she's actually able to get into the fight and cast her spell and click people down.
Yeah, but no Blink Dagger, so she can't follow up that immediate jump from Tidehunter as well. Yeah. She basically has to be in position to force staff herself forward, get there, and start blasting.
Or Earth Spirit, please grip me into the fight.
Yeah, their grip travels slowly, dudes. Travel by Blink, it's the fastest way to travel. No, I don't know. It's getting complicated to orchestrate how they're going to win, but it has to be on the back of double Ravage.
And is it a jump on Mickey? Do we aim for Nisha first?
I think it doesn't have to be Mickey, but it needs to be like 2 or 3 heroes at least that immediately get leaded by a Murta ulti. If they can do that, then possibly they could win a fight. Ideally, it's Mickey and like Largo, right? Ace and Mickey, if the 2 of them die, that would be enormous. But you can't get too picky as well. The moment you see enough heroes stacked up, you just say, okay, go. This is it.
Yeah, because we are currently looking at this situation they're in as...
It's a beggars can't be choosers situation.
Take what you get. Scraps on the floor, scrape the bottom of the barrel.
Eternal Shroud on Ace as well now on Largo. Just adding some survivability against the magic damage from Murta.
Currently, Tide and Earth Spirit, the two heroes with the buybacks on the Radiant side. Nisha is going to poke at them, drag them forward with the Gale Force, stun them up with a Lion, but Nightmare and Lotus Orb, a little protection for 9 class, but not enough. He is one of the ones with buyback though, as said.
Yeah, Focus Fire used, but it's off cooldown again. He has that level 25 talent as well.
But Muerta hasn't even stepped past her tier 4s, and she's already on 25% health. And Boxy, well, he gets baited into that one a little bit. Goes forward, but forces Ravage BKB out of no one and Muerta respectively. Now 9 class bought back, rolled in and died, while Ducal is being pummeled by Nisha. Inside their own base, Ace and Mickey chase them past the throne, licking them back into danger with another Ravage from no one. They do clip onto Mickey and Ace. There's a lasso into Fountain. I mean, that's one way to kill them off. You do get a few members of Liquid there, but you've spent everything you've got and you're still trapped in the cage.
And they're not stopping. They still have Aegis on Mickey as well, gonna push towards bottom. They know Murta is gonna have her ulti soon though. 10 seconds until it comes back, but this time, no lasso, no Ravage.
And Nature's still full resources.
Oh, the Shard.
Another Gale Force. Mickey still has Aegis, of course. 4 staff from no one out of there, but Satanic is wide open. The damage comes through too quickly. Buys back, tries to re-enter the fight with a TP forward, looking at Mickey's Wind Ranger now as they should get on top of her and kill her off.
Backpack. Oh, the BKB. She doesn't have it ready yet.
3. Can we get out of here as Mickey? No, we can't. The buyback from Satanic works out.
He didn't swap the BKB before dying. He swapped it like 2 seconds after the Aegis ticked. Couldn't use it after respawn.
It's a lot of damage.
Okay, so Murta does hold at least. They didn't get Mega Creeped yet. But again, a lot of damage being done. The buyback on Satanic. They are desperate to get out and get anything they can right now. I don't think they can push and get a Rax, but maybe at least get Tormentor, get some farm. She is queuing up the Blink Dagger immediately now. I think she wants to have authority on when she goes in and takes a fight. Because it's been basically waiting and hoping that a fight happens in front of her.
But we're now looking at, you know, a massive window. I mean, all the doors are open, the house is unlocked, Paravision, very little to defend themselves.
Yeah, and there's very little to answer Nisha as well. In these fights, he's just all over the place, literally flying back and forth and doing whatever he wants. He's 9-0 and 16, absolutely just terrorizing the backline, the front line, all of it at the same time.
Well, even just the start of that fight was the double remnants around the tier 4s that Nisha put down.
Yeah.
42,000 damage. Definitely showing off his skills there, the Ember Spirit.
I mean, that's what caught the Earth Spirit initially as well, and then they follow up on it.
And they did like 70% of Murta's health before the fight really even started.
Yeah, it's painful. You can't stand around, but she has to stand around due to not having Blink. But now she has made a commitment. She has bought the Blink Dagger. So it will be a bit easier for him. It doesn't have to stand in these awkward spots anymore.
Liquid know they're in a position now where Paravision basically have one fight left in them, one lane left to push.
You know, I think the biggest power spike Paravision have coming up is if they can get level 25 on this Tidehunter for the +1 second stun duration on his Ravage.
Right.
If he gets there, I mean, that's 2 more seconds on the refresher combo. That could be massive for him.
This is do or die. 5-man smoke.
Ooh, double smoke. They TP away the Earth Spirit, but he can rejoin quite quickly.
Radiant have vision on that bottom lane. Ember Spirit's going to try and give info. The recon man himself getting in behind enemy lines. Parachutes past all the rest of Paravision, but doesn't find anyone.
Yeah, walking under a lot of observer wards now, but Paravision already feel compromised, just running back to safety. Maybe it's for the best that no fight erupted out there. Fight away from base, pretty dangerous when you get wrapped around on. Instead, finish up that level 25 that I was mentioning. I mean, I don't think they care about Liquid getting a Tormentor. Okay, Shard on Lion. I think it's...
Big deal.
Yeah, it's not the most relevant thing. You want to have the best possible fight because that might be your last fight in this game at this point.
So it was like, if we see that Tormentor die, then we go, because they'll be kind of low HP or they spent some spells.
Yeah, but the problem is the moment Tide uses Gush on the creep wave to push it out, he reveals his location, and that triggered Nisha to just run in and start sweeping towards that location.
Ducalis, that's a rough spot to be in. Sentry Ward gives vision, Yules into Ice Path gives control. There's a roll and kick and grab, but Ducalis is dead for 50. No one is coming here with a Ravage on Jakiro, but Nisha now has free reign to backstab onto Satanic, forcing Paravision back. Triple S, Eon Disc, Lotus, and BKB already spent, gets over the barrier, hides behind the gate, starts yelling at Liquid. Well, I don't really seem to care.
Yeah, I think Liquid are pretty fine with that. They lose their Jakiro, but Ravage, only one of them available now. This gives them a possibility to crack before the refresher is back off cooldown. But seeing this game, how long it's gone, they probably just want to wait for that Roche as well. They used the BKB on Wind Ranger, so they definitely want to chill at least for that. Has the refresher on her as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe she'll go for like MKB or something for even more damage, but he just prioritizes safety here.
Both of the lanes that are already open being pushed in pretty hard by Liquid. Paravision on lane pruning duties.
Doing what they can, but can't go too far out though. It's hard to shove the lanes when you have to do it like this. Just Gush and Flame Break, then run away.
You can't show on the map as a hero apart from maybe Tide.
Yeah. Liquid, even with one hero dead, are still super dangerous.
And the natural vantage point from the Radiant Ancients area as well. High ground being held. They'll smoke up and play into the Radiant base. All they need is a little bit of vision. First a Remnant, then a jump from Boxy. Sneaky attempt to start things off as Satanic shows an aggressive move himself.
That's good. You have to be a bit bold right now as ParaVision.
How dare you?
Yeah. Gotta try and punish at least when these moves come out. Sadly, when they don't have a refresher, they don't really want to commit to a big fight either. And I think the BKBs come off cooldown now for Wind Ranger. This might give them...
Blink Hex. Damage is good, but nice grab and kick back into Fountain. Ravage from no one takes the Ember Spirit out of the fight with a lasso into Fountain. They've got him down. Nisha gone. Has a buyback and a Remnant in their base. So if need be, he could return. But for now, Liquid just going to sit back and wait.
Fantastic kill, though. That was a good Ravage. Really nice catch.
So much spent, though. Now you've got no Muerta, Bat, or Tide ultis.
Yeah, but just showing. If they come near your Ancients, you will kill them, you know? The game is defend the Ancients. That's what they're gonna do.
Tentative now from Liquid. Still waiting for that third Roche.
Yeah, ultimately, Liquid, they had their fun. They tested high ground. You know, it wasn't so fun for Nisha. Got his first death of the game, almost 50 minutes into the game. But now they're just gonna back up and play for Roche. ParaVision, though, a lot of signs of life here. Not gonna roll over that easily.
Showing this Muerta carry can dish out some serious damage.
Oh yeah, and I wonder if he will go for the refresher over the Swift Blink. I would love to see the refresher come out so he has the double ulti, double BKB. We'll see what he's gonna finish up.
And then what are we swapping in and out?
I mean, you just juggle stuff at that point. You just start juggling. You swap out the Hurricane Pike if you want damage, or you swap out something else if you want the Hurricane Pike mobility.
40 seconds to go for Roche.
But yeah, he does have crazy DPS on Muerta. Daedalus, MKB, Mjolnir, that is like, I will delete anyone who's disabled in front of me. Like, if you get stunned by a Ravage here, you're going to die.
Ducalis has walked right into Liquid. They'll find him under that Glimmer Cape.
I mean, Worth, he picked up a Grand Healing Lotus first, you know, got the greater one. Right now, it's a bit... it's hard to stay patient as a support in this position on ParaVision, because you're not making any move, and they haven't made any real move for the last half an hour.
30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, straight up. And then you gotta get a little bit creative. What can you find on the map? It's like these minor advantages. Try and get some vision down, maybe pick the Healing Lotuses.
Oh, fourth Roshan. ParaVision nowhere near, so it's gonna be all the goodies for Liquid.
I mean, who did even put the Refresher Shard on this time? They already have Refresher on Ember and Wind Ranger, so maybe Largo gets it? Or if it's gonna be someone else?
Give it Boxy.
Nah, it's gonna be Ace, it looks like. I would have loved it on Boxy, though. I think Moxie has been doing really well this game. His early game catch on people has been so crisp, and coordination with Mickey's Wind Ranger. The slow feeling of inevitable doom is creeping towards ParaVision as they mount themselves, steeling themselves for the siege to come. It's a fresh Aegis, so we might see them just choke out the map for a few more minutes before really cracking, but at any given moment they could also go high ground, so ParaVision have to be on the tip of their toes for this.
We do re-enter, though, this period where ParaVision have buybacks, all the green lights are up, so even though they are a couple of lanes down, they've got a lot of tools in their box to actually be able to fight back, as we saw dealing with Nisha and dragging him into Fountain. Although Nisha now has another layer of protection with that BKB, 9-second at 52 minutes with the refresher, so double that. Blink Ravage, no one's in on Mickey, massive DPS, and takes down the Aegis. Immediate lasso, Ace is going to break free of it. The Eon Disc is there, and another Ravage comes out, but Mickey is protected by the rest of Liquid. Nisha went in, gets gripped up, but he's got the BKB going. They've spent it all, got very little in the exchange, and Liquid can keep going for buildings.
Yeah, Liquid, they have the sustainability. Buyback from Ducalis.
But what tools have you got left? There's no lasso, there's no Ravages.
15 seconds for Murta ulti. Can go with a second ulti if they have some for him disabled.
Ace is fronting this one though. Mickey behind him to get damage on the buildings. Difficult to approach the Liquid line. 9class tries to go in with a nice kick back play, but Nisha finds the backstab onto Satanic. Good damage onto him and the Batrider with Tofu lining up the ice path and no one being focused down. Killed off, and Satanic back to Fountain barely survives. Somehow kept up thanks to 9class with his skills. No one brought back for this to hold on for dear life, but Liquid go back to focusing buildings. Objective-based gaming.
Holy, the area denial coming out from Liquid. They just put down Macropire.
Boxy, two-man stun. Catches Satanic, the main target, the main hero, dead, but has buyback. Isn't gone for 2 minutes, could return, but this is a disastrous scene to return to.
Very disciplined push here, still staying back. Takiro, the target.
Nice Yules. Buys time then for Liquid to come back in and save it.
Gets to blink out even. They know that he has buyback.
Boxy
overcommitting.
He's back in again. Another grab by the Earth Spirit. Pulls Triple S to safety. Tier 4 starting to take this chip damage though, as Ace seems to have infinite resources just to stand up there, tank everything up.
You have to be so careful as ParaVision how you do this.
And we've got back all of our BKBs and Eon Discs as well on Liquid.
They do have Lasso. Fiend's Grip is off cooldown in a second.
A roll in. Yule Scepter from Jakiro. No one steps forward, but a blink out from Tofu. Triple S in. Lincoln's there. Protects
He can't Lasso.
Still got Lasso ready, but he can't get it done. He got hexed up on the way through. The Tide Hunter, a Blade Mail, something just to try and turn the tides here as the ebbing Liquid flow into this base to blow up the Batrider. Another buyback is available, but Liquid are just poking out every resource they've got. Boxing Eon Disc, protected against Muerta. Ace, same story. The spending of spells and abilities from Satanic, it offers him nothing in the end. Muerta has to back up the Fountain. They've lost their Earth Spirit one more time. Tier 4 tower falls, and the throne's exposed. Another move in, the Muerta dropping quickly, blown up by Mickey. No buyback on her, and GG called. They're stuck in their Fountain, forced back in as Liquid eventually, systematically take game 1.
That was death by 1,000 cuts. What a clean ending by Liquid. I swear, like 9 out of 10 teams will just throw, away something there, but they did not give an
Happy. All right then, guys, we're going to see how long this game is actually going to be, and now I'm going to hand you over to Mawathareg.
Oh, it just keeps getting better and better. I wonder what it's going to end up with at the end of the tournament. Our nicknames just keep merging and joining. A vast chasm, though, between these two teams in terms of strategies and ideologies, as it seems like Liquid going to be trying to pick up the tempo with Windrunner, Void Spirit, Tusk to play aggressively, while ParaVision, the speed of mud, comes to mind.
Yeah, definitely. They are not going to be moving too quickly here, ParaVision, but late game they do scale to become insanely strong. Tinker, Void, very nice combinations, and they have some nice protection as well with like Chen ulti and so on. But I am concerned for them. I think Team Liquid have drafted themselves very strong laning stage with very nice combinations in the Wind Ranger and the Tusk. You have the Jakiro, of course, very strong in laning stage as well. And then Void Spirit, who can pop in and break those lanes down. At the 6-minute mark, for the 7-minute Wisdom Rune, I think he's going to be much more impactful than what I'm expecting from no one, who probably wants to farm a little bit more on Tinker. You want to get your items, want to get your Blink, you want to get Kaya. And last time we saw no one on Tinker, he did fine, but he didn't take over the game.
Yeah, it was that slow and steady, get this item timing, be a bit ominous, and that looming threat is definitely there, forcing the hand of your opponents to deal with you, but there wasn't that sharp turn of events to get things under control.
Boxy was trying to get some body block for the creep wave, gets shoved away by the little potato here coming in from Ducalis. Not going to be allowed
tower
to
hit too. He's got boots on Boxy, so he's going to be able to get away from the Chen. Now, Chen Faceless Void has to be one of the like, least do something lanes I've ever seen.
It is. At the same time, they're laning against Largo, one of the weakest laners in all of Dota. So I think they're going to be fine. Chen is the only ranged hero in this lane, and he can continuously just lay in the auto attacks. He has to be careful about level 2 power spike, because then the double nuke coming out from the two of them, or even tag team, is going to be very, very scary. But other than that, this is going to be a shooting range for Chen, where he can just auto attack people. Oh, look at him, using his creep as well to match the creep pull going on from Boxy, stopping the shenanigans the Boxy is attempting on top lane.
Yeah, making sure that the lane dragging doesn't complete, and they even get some denies going on the creep wave too, bringing Satanic across to gather up the last hits. So this first minute of play, very well done by ParaVision to make sure this top lane is able to get something done.
Does get a little bit of gold for killing the potato, but yeah, the Void is for now enjoying his free farm.
And Largo a little offset from the lane. Has been able to hold that dire creep wave with a couple of creeps, letting the other couple walk past, so denies a few.
I will say I'm a bit surprised that they laned it this way with the Jakiro and Windranger together, not using the the Tusk and Windranger as a pairing, because I think Jakiro could maybe have done more to stand up top and put pressure on Void with the damage over time against Time Walk, but surely they have the reasons to lane it like this.
Oh, that was an old Liquid classic, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Like Zai Windranger with the Tusk alongside. Boxy still playing around in that small camp. Dire Sentry was placed there, but just puts his body in the camp to make sure it is continually blocked up. Ducalis gets the drag into large, while Ace, the Largo, trying to deal with Satanic in the lane.
Yeah, Ace does have a lot of lasted damage, at least with all those gauntlets. 80 lasted damage on level 2 Largo, so if he can get close to the creeps, he is gonna, you know, get a fair amount of the CS.
Yeah, already 9 and 3, whereas his counterpart, the Batrider, 5 and 1, not having the same luxury. Still has the lane right in front of his tower for now.
I think Wind is probably one of the absolute hardest heroes for Batrider to deal with. It is like the best carry at safely outlaning Batrider. There are some that can work really well as well, but are much more volatile, like a Slark can do fine, but he could also just die.
And you're also, again, this double range lane for Liquid. Jakiro Windranger into no armor Tiny, into a Batrider who's like half a ranged hero. You're very good at trading blows with them and chipping down that regen early on.
Yeah, and getting those chip shots in all the time. Mika using the shackle to harass.
Mid lane, farm trade. We're not going to see any solo kills, no skill expression or anything like that, right? Waiting for active runes to kick off.
Yeah, for now it looks like a pretty big out CS, but he has 4 creeps to kill still on Nisha, so see how many of these he can secure. Very nicely used his nukes. Gets 3 out of the 4 at least. So 11 for 4 versus the 16 and 4 on Tinker.
Yeah, tried to hold his hit before the laser expires. No one, just throwing a Randy tip onto Boxy.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw from the mid lane, but yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, because Boxy's still up top, dealing with the potato of Ducalis. He's already spent his shards with the snowball there, but time dilation, of course, going to be very annoying once you've spent both of your spells. This is, of course, just smoke and mirrors as Largo is in between his tier 1 and tier 2 tower, gathering up farm.
Yeah, they pulled
the bag.
Pulled the creep wave back there, but there are camps available for Ducalis to use, both for pulling the creep wave back, but also for getting some creeps for himself soon. As Boxy's trying to stop this desperately, his aggro pulling manages to stop the camp,
Well done.
or the pull. That's more farm for Ace under a tower.
Still got to keep track of this Tusk as well, so the Observer Ward in the jungle, pretty important here to keep tabs on Boxy. That's why he's come through with a sentry to de-ward it.
Yeah, you know he wants to go in and mess with the Tinker. You never want to leave a Tinker completely undisturbed, so he's definitely going to look to, you know, check how many stacks there are, see if he can body block any camps or ward block. Actually going to place the ward. Does that block even? I think he's keeping Vision. I think he blocked it, or put outside, I mean.
Yeah, keeping Vision to contest,
Exactly.
Now, assuming once Void Spirit wants to make a move, they can go and play together in tandem to maybe find no one's Tinker. So far, a decent start for ParaVision. They want this slow and steady game. They want as little aggression and action as possible. So as long as they're able to kind of sit back, gather farms, stack camps in particular, they'll be very happy. Because all of their heroes, Tinker and Batrider in particular, want to farm these stacks.
Yeah, Bat is already clearing big camp stacks in jungle, off doing something else, while bottom lane, 9class has been left alone, and he's gonna most likely die here, as we even have Boxy joining in.
Not showing himself.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to do anything, huh?
Just leech some experience. give me the share of this one, boys.
Yeah.
Final touch from Mickey will get him first blood.
Staying well out of vision. That's smart. A lot of people would just go in and help out, get the kill there, but why give your opponents information for nothing? Boxy understanding that that's good. Anytime he's off the map, then that's time that ParaVision have to worry, what is he up to? Where is he? Is he on mid lane? Speaking of mid lane, level 6 is acquired on no one, so he has access to TPing around now.
And minute 6 coming in. Shard block to guard the bottom rune with Tofu and Boxy there. Amplified damage can be picked up by the Tusk. 9class also showing that he rotated to try and protect the Tinker.
Yeah, gonna go in and have a look at these camps. With the DD on Tusk, Tiny has to be careful. He throws a ward. I don't think they realized that he warded there, so defensive observe ward.
And then trying to move back down towards bottom lane, where Batrider, also playing under an observer ward of his own, is able to drag the Radiant Creep Wave and create a bit of distance between himself and Mickey. The two roaming supports, though, trying to catch up to him and make life a little more challenging. Still take a while to get all the way down to this bottom left-hand corner of the map.
Yeah, he's dragging it as far away as possible. Doesn't have Firefly ready, but it's just the Tusk chasing him. Tusk alone can mess with him quite a bit, though. The Creep Wave helping out, of course. Triple S doesn't want to play anywhere close to Wind Ranger. That's why he's going this far away from the lane.
Wisdom Shrine coming up. They don't want to go all the way to that side. They want to contest the Shrine. No one is here from the mid lane. A toss across, going to give 9class the ability to take the Shrine with a good avalanche, and Ducalis' arrival with no one here. They're going to turn on Mickey.
Blinded.
Tofu drops low, but kills the Tiny first, as Nisha also sniped out Triple S.
Yeah, Tofu goes in, blocks some camps, gonna try and hide himself, see if he can find the TP spot.
We've got no stuns, have they?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Perfectly fine. And then Nisha with Boxy actually pairing up to kill the Batrider.
Yeah, did bring him in the end. You can see Boxy basically calling Nisha over. Nisha was like, I have a creep wave under tower, bro. Gotta finish this creep wave, then I'll run. And then he joined up and got that easy kill.
Just give me a moment.
Bat is, of course, the core that's struggling the most for ParaVision right now, I would say. Not having a very easy lane. But other than that, they're farming really well. Tinker is getting his farm progression. Kaya already complete.
And quite nice for Nisha as well with that Urn. Getting a kill, getting some charges, getting to go and play aggressively through this middle lane with the Tusk as well. 3 members of ParaVision here trying to rebuff the efforts of Liquid, even bringing Faceless Void to maybe swing this fight. But Nisha, Boxy have already come in, come out, grab the Illusion Rune as the Chrono spent to kill off the Tusk. The Shackle Shot onto Faceless Void, no Time Walk available, so the damage comes through thick and fast. Tofu picks up a double kill.
Oof, that is painful for Satanic. TPing in, joining to try and take a fight. You don't even get the last hit, as no one got the last hit or on the kill, and then get brought down as they realize this is not a maxed out Time Walk. He's only level 6 on Void, and even put 2 points in Bash.
And then the frog up top has jumped out of the cauldron and said, great, it's lovely out here. The weather's perfect to go and kill some creeps. No longer bubbling and boiling.
Do you mean I can farm lane creeps and jungle at the same time?
Triple S, not the same story. Again, getting caught out down in this bottom lane.
Yeah, this Batrider, they are doing a great job shutting him down for now. It's a hard time for him to get the drums that he wants and get some free farm down bottom. Is just not looking easy. Mickey, of course, one of the most active carry players.
I mean, both you and the panel were kind of looking at the Bat item build in the last game and kind of wondering, you know, the Blink Force maybe was necessary. A pipe was in the conversation as well. What are we looking at here for Triple S this game?
I mean, it's always the bongo boots at least. Yeah, the start. Yeah, from there on, we'll see what he's gonna go for. I still like the pipe against Largo.
Could be nice. Nisha lassoed back through the Firefly, but he has that jump across with his Astral Step. And Triple S just trying to make sure he safeguards and takes what farm he can as the invasion from Liquid continues into the enemy Ancients.
They have good vision here on Dire, putting that ward earlier, of course.
Yeah, still see no one there. That fraction of vision.
Oh yeah, I think it was spotted.
So many wards.
It's just deep. It's hard to walk between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. You basically have to open that mid tier 1 if you're gonna try and invade. Go for that kill.
Basically, there was a line of wards from bottom tier 1 all the way through to that top jungle. Of course, one did just get dewarded. But tons of vision for Liquid to play aggressively, like everyone's been saying through the end of that draft. Liquid, the ones with the tempo, need to keep applying it onto Paravision to make laning uncomfortable. Anisha, Tofu, and Boxy, they're onto 9 class again, diving onto the tier 1. That neutral creep's going to get the kill, though.
How are they so expert at last hitting? These neutrals, they should be coaches, man.
All they need is one hit.
Yeah, all they need. Tomato, potato, they get it.
Into Carlos, starting to drag waves and get some farm for himself. Boxy says, no, denied.
Yeah,
We'll kill the tomato off as well.
and no one coming in with that marching machines, clearing out a lot of the mid wave. He realizes this mid tower is important to try and hold on to any bit of time he can buy on Tinker to slow down the game, allow this Faceless Void to go towards late game. It's going to be so valuable.
Another game where Nisha is going to have full rune control and the ability to pick and choose where he wants to be, where he wants to fight. Every time he gets one of these active runes, I'd be quaking in my boots if I was Paravision.
Yeah,
This Void Spirit is scary.
Void Spirit also a very fast hero, joining for a lot of fights, having the face boots, double jump as well. And he has some strong supports to play into. Don't have the ulti yet on Jakiro. Level 6 on him would be really big. They have a lot of control, so that Macropyre can do some serious damage.
Bit of a push on that mid lane alongside Nisha is the Tofu Jakiro, giving that tower damage, which Liquid desperately do need.
Yeah.
Tinker just going to keep TPing back and forth, trying to spam out with the march, stop the waves from approaching.
You can march all you want. They're gonna keep burning this tower. Eventually, Tofu will get it.
Trogdor will raise your village. Back to the Ancients now as well. But this map, 12 minutes in now, but we can feel it's starting to get a little shaky, a little smaller for Paravision.
Yeah.
Faceless Void is already in the outer rings of jungle. Batrider's not really comfortable staying on lane.
Yeah, Mickey is intentionally shoving the lane a lot as well. He's trying to get a position where he can just pop ulti on the tower or, you know, try and bring down this tower early. Has a lot of attention towards the mid tower, of course, but he's doing his own part and pushing.
And then giving info as well, like knowing where the Batrider is, because Bat feels that he's obligated to come and defend the tower, right? So he has to show he can't be farming jungle when Mickey is doing this.
Yeah, it slows down Batrider's farm quite a bit.
And then we see Chen and Void holding hands up top. Tiny's kind of wandering around, trying to find a home for himself. Please, let me get levels or money for Blink or boots or something.
This is how you feel as a support. I think 9 class is incredibly bored right now because
Oh yeah, I
he
can
has
feel it.
a mid Tinker, a carry Faceless Void, and an offlane Batrider. And Batrider's a very farmy hero in the current patch. Back in the past, we used to have those Blink Batriders. This is not it. So this is basically triple greed from Paravision, and 9 class is like, yeah, I guess I'll exist.
Just go through the motions.
That's not where 9 class shines, though. He's a very, very good aggressive support player. He's amazing at, you know, creating space or finding these aggressive moves, and I feel like his potential is being held back until he gets his Blink action.
There's no nuance to hitting creeps.
No. Not really.
No, he is that kind of information gathering, reconnaissance man who wants to try and get behind enemy lines and find out what's going on. And right now, the enemy is farming stacks themselves. Getting a ton of money there for Nisha as he closes in on the Yule Scepter. On Wisdom Shrine in a matter of moments. Going to be guarded on the left by Liquid, and Paravision bringing a few members to the right to defend their own.
Yeah, Liquid want to fight this, though.
Okay.
You can see it on Mickey walking in, gets a Hyperstone.
Gonna windrun away. It's quite a bold position to be in.
I think he has to respect the TP from Faceless Void. If he goes for this Wisdom Rune, there's gonna be a Faceless Void reacting, and it's not worth throwing away your early game lead to try and contest the Wisdom. So they let Paravision have it. I think their attention is gonna be focused elsewhere, going towards that top tier 1 tower.
Can definitely feel things building for Liquid, but it's still been a reasonably successful first 15 minutes for Paravision with the kind of draft they've got. They've not completely bled out. They are losing map space for sure, but they've not completely relinquished control, especially of that top lane. They still have the tower, and they still have space for Faceless Void to farm.
I think everything is going along the plans of Liquid though, because they are also greeding. They're greeding on their Largo, but that's about it. Wind Ranger, pretty active carry in this game, been involved in 4 out of the 6 kills, and their mid laner has been involved in stuff as well. So they open mid, bottom tower, Largo not too far away from his Aghanim Scepter now, 300 gold. And once they have that, it's gonna speed up. This game has been pretty slow, but we're very close to them just ramping. Gareth, it's gonna speed up so much.
The angle of the ramp. Gonna head skywards. But yeah, for sure, the next couple of minutes going to be potentially a little bit quiet. And then Liquid going to be ready to go in 200 gold with Ace getting that Aghanim Scepter shortly.
Yeah, they have the Maelstrom and the Mask of Madness on the Faceless Void though, so you have to be careful not to leave anybody close to him alone and undefended. He will murder people quite quickly with that Chronosphere.
And Tinker has also been back farming through the top jungle, so getting closer to his items. 7k net worth on no one. But nowhere's really safe, as Boxy is now dewarding your Ancients. Makes a little base camp there, so Mickey and Nisha can both pivot into this area if they could maybe triangulate the location of one of ParaVision's cores.
Yeah, they're trying to be as restrictive as possible, going in here, taking away space, and at the same time playing towards their own strength. So Aghanim's just now completing for Largo. Might see the congregation towards top lane happen soon.
It just really is impossible to go on anyone. Like, 9 class is the only guy that can walk in and stun and toss back, but that gives you so much time for, you know, Nisha to react. He does go in aggressively, but Boxy backing him up is going to swing onto this Tiny. Toss back on the Tusk. Batrider arrives. Nisha, Boxy with Ace now, pumping damage and sustain. Lasso comes out of Triple S, but he's burst down by Mickey. Here's Satanic. 3-man Chrono. Ducats and no one coming in hot as well. Mickey down as Satanic opens up. Ace trying to sprint back out. Strumming away, but he's finished off.
Beautiful Chrono there from Satanic. Diving a little bit too much Liquid. They got picked up top as well, losing their Jakiro, so he was nowhere in this fight. And then he TP's mid, still having the Chrono. Gets a beautiful 3-man catch.
Super important for him to react there. Tons of money flows into the coffers of ParaVision. That was meant to be Liquid showing off the act of Largo and getting involved. It doesn't take the stride out of their step though. Nisha has found a go here with the Yule Scepter on the Tinker. Opening up for Tofu's combos. Damage out of Nisha looks good, but Satanic rebuffs the efforts, and the Tiny Avalanche Toss combo takes him down. Liquid have to pay for their over-eager moves.
Ooh, this is not the timing that Liquid can afford to lose fights. Losing early against this ultra-hard carry that is Faceless Void and a Tinker to boot is suddenly put them in a very scary situation. Not grouping as 5 perhaps has been their demise. See, as ParaVision are going to be the ones to finally get a tower for themselves, using all these creeps as well from Ducalis. And these successful skirmishes have been big, because now Tiny is only 200 gold away from a Blink Dagger, so he will be able to try and set up stuff for his team as well, maybe tossing towards the Batrider, comboing with him a little bit.
And then this almost hidden effect of the Chen. When you have these slower games, Chen is one of these farming supports who gets a ton of gold by just hitting neutral creeps. 5,000 net worth, Arcane, Mac, tons of heal and sustain to drag these fights out and give the Faceless Void and Tinker more time to spam spells.
Yeah, if you pair that up with Tinker's barrier, he's going to be spamming as well, the defense matrix, it's going to be really hard to burst. Like the panel was talking about how Void is going to be hard to kill as we head later into the game.
Liquid still trying to pick up the pace though. Smoking up as 3, playing through Ace, Nisha, and Boxy. Might just be able to find Triple S here with a jump in from Nisha's Void Spirit. They've got the opening. 9 class, Avalanche, delay things. Lasso comes out of Triple S and Satanic with no one there in again. Yule Scepter into the sky. Nisha comes back down as they finish off the bat. Toss across, but Tiny's done for, and Liquid showing their firepower now. No one to the high ground. Looks like he's safe for now. Power shot misses, and Liquid don't want to go diving tier 3s just yet.
Smart by Liquid not to get deterred by losing a few fights earlier. Chrono still being on cooldown meant that Satanic, this time his TPN didn't really do that much. If all of them are there, Chrono is not available, then there's not really much a Void can do this early in the game, so he quickly dips out of that fight. Does mean that he still has it if there's another skirmish happening soon. But his TP being on cooldown, he's limited to being in the top area for now.
There's also the knock-on effect of the couple of ganks going awry for Liquid. So we've got a toss back on Tofu on the tower, actually. Numbers for ParaVision is that everybody brought top to kill off a Jakiro. Fair enough.
Just holding strong. I think they recognize how important it is to fight for these objectives. You cannot give Liquid too much map control early on, because even if you have the stronger late game, if you're not able to get out on the map, it does not matter.
Don't give them an inch. But yeah, it feels like the knock-on effect here. You know, Nisha's net worth definitely looked like it took a knock there as the couple of ganks failed out. PVISION able to fight back somewhat, but Nisha's going to be able to recover and get back up to the rest of the pack.
Yeah, he'll do what he can for sure. As we have seen, of course, speaking of net worth, quite a bit of progression over on the Void. Got the Mjolnir and going towards BKB. He just now overtook the Wind Ranger for most farming in the game. And again, that's one of those situations where gold is not always equal. 11,000 net worth Void or 11,000 net worth Wind Ranger. I'm more scared of one of them.
And one of them is right next to Tormentor with Chrono ready. Liquid not really in position here to contest it. Now we see.
Got the mech as well. They can heal up very quickly here. Maybe not even needing it.
Well, stats between the two carries very close. And Nisha through that mid lane, looking for his Kaya next. Just wants to amp up his damage as much as possible.
Get whatever he can. Liquid, I have a feeling that they're being a bit too comfortable and slowing down now, but this is also respecting their Chronosphere, I guess. They don't really want to force a massive fight when they've seen what happened. That three-man catch on mid lane. They can put a little bit of fear in Liquid's advances.
And Parry, the opposite is true. Now smoking up together with this blink on Tiny, they've finally got the capabilities to start a fight on their own terms. They've looked good when they've reacted and dealt with Liquid's over-eager moves. Now we'll see them actually make a move of their own.
They also just got a serious increase in damage to have the Aghanim Scepter on Tinker, which is always a huge item to go for.
Big old laser. Foxy's task the one out. Smoke breaking. Has a blink. Gets avalanched, and, well, 9 class doesn't want to go walking up staircases into darkness. So he's just going to leave it be.
It's hard. He doesn't know where the Wind Ranger is. Doesn't want to get caught by Wind plus Tusk.
Better left alone. It's so annoying that when you play against Tinker, you have this non-stop battle of defend mid lane, keep pushing it out. Someone has to keep coming back and dealing with these waves.
I just have to say, I never thought they would be able to hold safe lane tier 1 tower until 22 minutes and it's still standing on the side of PVISION. Like, this is commendable how well they have dealt with the early game. I think this puts them in a fantastic spot going mid game and late game, so...
The freaking Power Ranger TP'd 5 heroes up here to defend it, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm more surprised that the moment Aghanims finished on Largo, we didn't see Liquid just all group together and start exploiting the big power spike they had. Like, they made moves, but it wasn't really as organized as we have sometimes seen before.
So are Liquid now waiting for something? Because we've PVISION have kind of gotten over that hump of the first 20 minutes. So Liquid, that tempo kind of knocked out with them? Is it big item time?
I don't necessarily know if they're waiting for a key item. Like, sure, they're working on BKB on Largo, but still pretty far away. Manta just completed on Wind Ranger, but I have a feeling like they should be doing stuff now. Like, it's not that they need more items. The more items they farm, the more items PVISION farms. Perhaps Liquid have a more confident approach towards mid-game and late-game, but I would be concerned here.
Yeah, 3k lead for the PVISION side after what we heard through that panel. A great spot to be in. I can't remember the timing that T put on it. I think it was like 33 minutes and 40 seconds.
33.5. That's the power spike. That's the sweet spot, he said, I think, for PVISION. But yeah, it's... Yeah, I mean, and everything after that is even more sweet, right?
Yeah.
You dig to the center, it gets sweeter and sweeter.
So we have just over 10 minutes for Liquid to make their mark.
I would agree. It's definitely closing, and with the speed that this Faceless Void has been growing, I think that window is closing faster, perhaps even, as BKB is now complete on him. 23 minutes into the game, Mjolnir, BKB, Mask of Madness. Fantastic farm.
And opposing reads here from both teams. Liquid move up top to try and backstab, wrap around top tier 1. No one shows.
No one.
He doesn't suspect that they've already come in behind him. Nisha and Tofu, they're ready and waiting, but here come the TPs. Not fast enough as no one's blown up. BKB up and a Chrono there, looking at Jakiro for Satanic to pick off a support. Largo's very tanky though, difficult to finish off as Nisha comes back in for round 2. Another Ether Remnant and Shackle Shot. Catches Tiny. Satanic with the help of a lasso, looking at the Largo. Wants to pump the damage as Nisha finishes off 9 class in the back. But another toss buys him time. Nisha dropping low on HP. Boxy will come in and save with a punch. Ace still pumping damage, sustains them up. PVISION lose 3. All they dropped was a Jakiro, and Ducalis is going to be the 4th.
Yeah, they could kill off Jakiro, but once he turned attention to Ace, realizing that he has like 30 armor on this Largo and 3,000 HP, that's just not gonna happen right there. Not without Tinker. They need Tinker and his Aghanim Scepter. Ultimately, that was one of those TP feeds where your core gets caught out, one of your major damage sources dies before anybody arrives, and then you fight 4v5 afterwards. It was just a little bit too late for PVISION.
Over before it began, really.
Yeah. Now we see
blindsided by this move from Liquid.
Perhaps they didn't expect him to die that fast, but the DPS is there, of course, with Wind Ranger focus firing him. But Largo standing tall in this fight, and even Nisha just manages to survive the burst.
And Mickey completely free, not getting chrono, just opens up with all the long-range right-click damage.
I think that was a very, very important fight for Liquid, because if they lost the fight there, it would almost already feel like, you know, it's written on the wall, we're gonna lose this one. But now they
reel it back in.
They really do. And going for an Octarine core on Nisha early, he wants to have some more mobility. I like Octarine core against Faces Void, by the way, because of time dilation, how it messes with your cooldowns. He already has Euls to dispel it, of course, but if you have lower cooldowns and generally faster cooldowns, you're less likely to get screwed over by time dilation. Just, I don't know, it's just a feels-good item. Overall, it's amazing on Void Spirit as well.
100% win rate on the BKB for Largo. 2 minutes faster than average as well. Good sign there.
100% win rate, 100% contest rate as well. Hero is pretty good.
Now Liquid setting up on that top tier 2. I don't know if they can keep the catapult alive, but Tofu will at least try and get a few free hits in onto the tower.
He does what he can, but ultimately gonna back up, realizing it's a little bit too dangerous to stick around. Aegis in hand on the Wind Ranger now will give him a lot of confidence on Mikke. And Satanic, already we see him working on the MKB. I think he realized, I need more damage. This MKB is not just to deal with the Wind Ranger. Obviously, it's great against her, but it's also just a damage increasing item, and he needs that. We saw Largo and his massive armor.
True.
MKB is a lot of magical damage, so it sort of circumvents the armor from Largo ulti as well.
There's something to break through the thick skin of that frog. And Tofu with Greaves and Essence Ring. They're pretty difficult support to bring down, and he's feeling pretty bold to just stand up in his top jungle, give vision and information to the rest of his team. And Liquid looks like they're scribbling on the map.
Oh yeah.
Another move to come in behind the top tier 2, wanting to find that Tinker again, potentially.
I think they want to make a move because of, you know, having the Aegis. They need to make a power play somewhere. These tier 2 towers need to fall eventually. And going behind the tower is usually the easiest. Otherwise, Tinker will just stand somewhere and march.
4-man smoke. Tofu leads, gets tossed on the tower. Avalanche and damage is good, but Nightclass gonna feel the pain here as he's dragged back in, a snowball across. Finish him off with a final touch, but lasso on the Largo through the BKB. Drags him on the tower, but doesn't do much. There's a chrono from Satanic, and they'll pump damage into him. So a lot of DPS landing on the Largo. Ace not sustaining through it, though.
That was nice. When PVISION get to initiate the fights, especially getting a clean pick-off like that, and fight under their own tower, they're significantly stronger than when they randomly get caught. Liquid, even with the Aegis, it doesn't matter. If Wind Ranger isn't focused, then her Aegis is basically irrelevant.
That's now going to be a window where this Aegis can't really accomplish too much. Tier 2 still standing. And Liquid bit off more than they could chew.
Also surprisingly annoying to play Wind Ranger against Faces Void. If you see when she auto-attacks in, all those auto-attacks are slowed down by the time field around Faces Void. So her DPS, she tries to go in and help, but she can't really do too much. In a few seconds you see here when she ultis onto the Faces Void during the chrono, it just doesn't really reach him, and he easily just, she gets caught for a second, and time walks off any damage if he even needs to.
Yeah, perfectly fine. There is this moment, though, with Chrono down that maybe Liquid feel comfortable still to go back up to that top lane and make the same move again.
Well, hopefully not the same move.
Not the identical move. The same trajectory.
Yes. Fight in the same battlefield.
Well, DOTA Plus still thinking that Liquid ahead, but that lead is definitely wilting as we approach 33 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's a very optimistic 60% advantage for Liquid. considering the lineup with Faceless Void and Tinker is ahead in net worth. I think the Aegis is probably getting given a lot of credit here.
And here is that smoke move again. 9 class blinks away. Not getting found. Snowball is deep, but this is risky. Liquid having their tusk tossed back in with a shackle shot on the Tiny. Forced to the high ground. Liquid don't get their claws on anyone. ParaVision are out of the grasp.
Yeah, elusive. The 4 staffs, the barriers, defense matrix doing a lot of work.
D-ward, re-ward, sentry it all back up. Keep vision of this area and force Liquid back. So again, defending their tier 2. Keeping this Faceless Void farming.
This type of stuff can really take the wind out of you, though, when you repeatedly try to take a team fight or crack the tower when you have Aegis, and soon you're about to lose your Aegis timing. That's really going to make it feel kind of hopeless in Liquid's camp.
And this is big as well. They've scanned. They know exactly where somebody is, and they're going to catch a glimpse of Mickey here. 40 seconds for Aegis, but probably just going to kill her twice. Avalanche Flame Break breaks through the wind run. Mickey tries to get the man to dodge and run away, but no one's going to come in with a laser, a warp flare, and a catch from Satanic.
They still have the lasso, but the team is here.
Reinforcements arriving, cavalry over the hill. Chrono first up from Satanic, and the damage looks good. The Wind Ranger being pummeled and finished off by no one. Now Jakiro and Ace in the open. Lassoed up, the Largo's in trouble. Nietzsche does come in to try and burst somebody down. Jakiro's fallen though, and Satanic just keep whacking them into the ground. Ace doesn't really have anyone left to help sustain or keep going.
The Largo is doing stuff
back, trying to chase no one. Triple S comes across to defend them, and a 9 class toss back into Satanic with 3 dead on Liquid. Ace is left stranded again. They're taking tons of damage over time. Is Ace who's going to 1v5 with 9 class and 2 cars to drop it lower, and Nietzsche's hunting in the back, but he's held back by the Tinker. Liquid in a 2 versus 5, still aiming for something, striving for a kill on Triple S. Nietzsche doesn't quite have it though. A Yule's up, Avalanche spent, jumps to the left, jumps to the right. He's on the tree line, but a flame break to simulate jump again back onto Triple S and dies.
In the end, he cannot really fight his way out of that one, and Ace says, you know what, buddy, I tried to fight with you, but he TPs to safety. I think Ace just ran out of mana eventually, but look at that damage. What? 13,400. Just a testament to the sustainability that ParaVision have as well. They have the pipe over on Chen, they have the Greaves, the Tinker, of course, healing himself up by going base and coming back again, Void with the Time Walk and Lifesteal. They just have so much HP to go through.
And now finding themselves with an 8k lead. ParaVision going to be feeling incredible about the game state.
Can't remember last time I saw a team fight where someone did 13,500 at 30 minutes into the game.
Basically 1v5.
Yeah, sadly losing the fight though.
Just dancing through it.
Didn't really kill anything at all, as they just kite in and out.
Amplified damage for no one. Helped out by 9 class as they pop the bongo boots and get onto the Jakiro. Another quick jump in, a blow up on Tofu. ParaVision, the shackle shot onto 9 class, returning fire. Liquid find an opening here on the bat as well, forcing a BKB out of Triple S. Nisha made the jump. Bat Rider gets shackled to the trees. ParaVision, they thought they had a freebie there. Stuck to.
Oh, still on Ducalis.
A bit eager. Boxy's on Ducalis. Nisha jumps over the top, and that's another one. 3 in a row. Satanic and no one looking for a Chrono. Finds the Wind Ranger under tier 2. Shard's not going to block them out. The damage is good from Satanic, and Largo's in trouble too. Yule stepped into the sky. Satanic comes back down into the ice path. Boxy, Nisha trying to deal with the Faceless Void, and they get the job done. No one's BKB with the DD going, but Liquid, they've overrun ParaVision. The Frog with his friends. They finally get the sustain going that they needed.
Holy, the turnaround, the chain stun is definitely there on the side of Team Liquid. You focus down the Wind Ranger, looked pretty bad for them to begin with there, but then they showed the burst potential they have, the Tusk, the Void Spirit, the Jakiro, all of them just working together, trying to hold this Void in place and beat him up. Wild team fights going on here.
And tier 2 is their prize as well. This Largo. Kaya Sanj, Aghanims, BKB just wanders into the fight.
I mean, Largo, the hero is definitely showing exactly why he is 100% contest rate at this Wallachia.
Well, it feels like when ParaVision let Liquid come to them, it's all sunshine and glory. But when they make a move of their own, Liquid's so good to snap and react very quickly.
It's really about whichever team gets the first pick-off. It's always been the first team that gets the pick-off wins the entire fight. We saw, again, nice shackle there.
And the chasing power of Liquid is insane. Boxy and Nisha can gap close quickly. Satanic feeling here, just solo crowing the Wind Ranger is worth it, but in the end...
The BKB running out, Yule Scepter into Ice Path, into Chain Stun, Chain Stun, Chain Stun.
That's just insane. No chance to Time Walk or anything. No one. We had what? BKB, Ghost Scepter, tried to stick around under that tier 2 tower, tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
Still falls.
He did just respawn.
They got me.
There we go. Yeah.
He chronoed me.
He's like, well, one-man chrono, you know, I'll take it. And yeah, no one not feeling good about that one as they did get team-wiped, of course. Back in live, we have everybody respawned by now. Back on the field. Faces Void still 3 levels away from getting that level 25 talent. Really vital talent to get. Becoming harder to burst. And if you can't kill Void quickly, Time Walk can make it so you can never kill him.
And a lot of very cool tools there being pointed out by the Observer in terms of defense into the Chrono, Wind Wakers, E-Blades, all sorts of business to try and make Satanic's life a living hell.
Yeah.
Liquid are itemizing to deal with this. This period of the game now they've entered, late game against Faceless Void, they need everything that they can throw into the Chrono to save people.
I think a massive one is as well the Shivas over on Nisha, not only for the healing reduction, which is going to be amazing here, but also just for the armor and sustain, so that he doesn't hit, or armor that he doesn't get bursted himself when he gets focused.
It's Nisha pretending he's on a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Animation cat. Boing, boing. Having a little bit of fun.
A little bit of bouncing.
Mod Golems are not impressed.
No, they never are.
Golem, get you gone.
Group up for Liquid. Being very cautious. But this is time. Anytime you group up as 5 is when Tinker is just TPing around the map, pushing out the lanes.
Playing as wide a map as possible. But when a big objective is alive in his pit, the Roshan man has to be contested. It's one of those situations where ParaVision probably feel like if Liquid get this Aegis, it's another lease on life for them to go and push up high ground, or maybe just finish off tier 2s. While ParaVision Aegis for them holds them in the game, gets them to that late game with a Faceless Void.
Exactly, yeah. He wants to drag it out even more. Going for an Eye of Skadi to try and counter that heal. Oh, they're going to run into each other.
Hello, Boxy. Jumps on the Chen. Tofu with a stun to the Shaka shot on the Faceless Void. Can they heal him up? Satanic, he's gone! Mickey finishes him off. Oh, Liquid, they've got this one in the bag. The team fight annihilates ParaVision one by one. They crumble. Boxy's jump gives all the vision in the world to get them another spectacular takedown.
He messed up, man. He messed up on Faceless Void. He popped the Mask of Madness immediately. He couldn't use his Chrono, couldn't use anything. Mask of Madness immediately gets chain stun, didn't get the BKB out or anything.
Painful.
Oh, that's rough.
Painful for Satanic, but glory for Liquid.
Yeah, you can see it even there. The Mask of Madness was an unfortunate misclick. I don't know if he expected to be less heroes that he ran into there, but...
It's just Boxy, right?
Yeah, it's just a little Boxy, surely.
Little Tusk.
But no, it's everybody.
I mean, the timing on that was Mask of Madness into Shackle Shot pretty much immediately.
I mean, if that Mask of Madness click was a BKB click, that fight looks entirely different. I think
for sure.
It's a really unfortunate misclick.
He's going to move those items in his inventory now, swap the slots.
Yeah.
Oh, I had them in the wrong slot. Happens to everyone.
I mean, seriously, that could be what happened.
It might just have been. And now Liquid, they're up on your high ground, taking barracks down. 10 seconds still for the Faceless Void to respawn. You've got to still be wary, though, of the Chrono and the plays here with the lasso from Batrider. So Liquid will finish off the buildings and then retreat.
Get themselves an advantage. Sizable one. That mid-rack's always the nicest one to start with. Making sure that creep wave is always coming in.
Level 25 Largo, that big boy.
Triple S is eyeing up a potential goal. Not that easy when he doesn't have Force Staff for himself. Pops Firefly, thinking about it.
Mickey's fronting. 4 minutes on Aegis, and that Aether Remnant catches the Blink Toss play from 9 class. Tiny dead.
It's so fast from Liquid. They were so ready for that goal. Daedalus is swapped in for the Wind Ranger.
Massive damage from Mickey. March of the Machines is annoying. Triple S, he's got the jump. Lasso drag back into the base. Forcing Mickey into an awkward position as the Aegis is claimed. Swapping items back in as the Wind Ranger, though. And a Chrono from Satanic lining up a go. Can they get him out of here and he saves from Mickey? No! The Nisha Void Spirit up in the sky comes down and disassimilates back to low ground. Satanic jumps in, finds an opening on Boxy. Tusk in trouble, but it's Magnified Ice Path with a chain stuns on Satanic! Liquid have done it again! They all in on Mickey, and Liquid say, fine, we've got the Frog.
Void doesn't have buyback?
We've got the Void Spirit on Nisha. And you're right, the Faceless Void has no buyback. 2 dead for 80 seconds, 3 in a row as Liquid run rampant in your base.
The Tinker is going to fall.
The Dire are in trouble now. No one does have buyback, but you're looking at your base in disarray.
Tinker does have, but yeah, I don't know, man. This top lane is definitely going to fall, and I don't think they're leaving your base as well. They're going to keep going. So strong. I can't believe how fast Liquid are at recognizing those tiny minutes, or milliseconds. Yeah, literally an instantaneous reaction. Go on Void, he time walked, and they punish him so fast.
So many counterplays from Liquid, just stopping everything that PVISION throw at them.
Unfortunately, Satanic just not having the game he wanted here. Early game looked amazing, but late game, mid game, it's not happening for him in these team fights.
Trying to channel his inner Yatoro, just not working out here. He's got to change his cosplay, do something different because the tier 4 is falling. 20 seconds for Faceless Void. I don't know if Liquid have enough time through the Crimson Guard to defeat the Throne as well.
Trying to hold the buyback on Tinker, but I don't know if they can. 30 seconds still.
Liquid are going for this.
There's no chrono. 38 seconds on chrono.
You're right, they've cracked it wide open. He buys back on Tinker now. Liquid, soft retreat. Slowly does it. Step back and group with Mickey.
It's a full retreat. They're so happy. That's a successful mission. They extract, Gareth. They don't retreat. They extract out of that one. This is now looking absolutely hopeless over on the side of PVISION. What once was so promising, now we see the cracks have happened. It's a matter of late game where, of course, PVISION's heroes, they're great in late game, but now you're 17,000 gold behind. So many resources the way of Liquid. Even a Wind Waker complete on Void Spirit with an Aeon Disc in his quick buy that he could buy entirely as well. I think he will.
He's buying it.
Yeah, I mean, they have all tier 2 towers, so you're in a very safe spot to play without buyback on the side of Liquid. There's no way you're getting Rexed.
Oh, jump up top. Box in Mickey, they're onto the Tinker. It's a dive back. No one's out of here for 2 minutes. Liquid have a straight line from here to victory.
It's just going to be bottom. They're going straight through bottom, into Mega Creeps, into Throne. They could call for quick Throne, but they have 105 seconds. There's no reason to rush. May as well take the security.
Desperation.
They need the chrono of a lifetime here.
They need a toss back, a chrono, a jump, a lasso. Mickey gets grabbed and brought under tier 3 tower, but he's saved up by Boxy. The chrono is there, catching Largo. No, the Wind Waker, the Cyclone is in the sky. Wind Ranger's
Still
5,
alive?
forced away, it's still alive. Mickey will turn, doesn't even die, finally falls, but the damage is done. Satanic will turn on the Tofu now. Boxy with a bit of control, trying to deal with the Faceless Void, and he gets him down. A minute and a half, GG called, and Liquid take the 2-0.
What impressive stuff from Liquid, showing that it's not just about having one hard carry, showing that all of them are bringing so much to the fight. It was really the power of friendship in every single team fight. Yeah, you kill our hard carry, but it doesn't matter. The rest of them, they just combo up and kill down even